Hey Kiki, thanks so much for joining us today. We're here to talk about Modern Muse, which is a project for women that are working and are passionate about what they do and who want to or are already inspiring young women and girls into the world of work. And Kiki has recently been out to Bournemouth School for Girls, spoken to 100 girls in the sixth form college. And really, Kiki, what I wanted to find out was what advice would you give someone who was going out to do what you did that might help them?
Yeah, that's a good question, Donna. Thanks for asking me. I think, first of all, what I found very, very useful was the PowerPoint presentation that's available on the website.
Oh, fantastic.
The Modern Muse PowerPoint presentation that is virtually idiot-proof, I have to say, which is really useful. So that Modern Muse can upload their photograph, put in a little bit about them, but also put up into a presentation maybe half a dozen key points that they want to discuss or share with the young women. And I think that's really important to have a simple but structured presentation. So that was very, very useful. And I think the other thing is really some really interesting techniques, I think, around presenting to a group like that.
Oh, fantastic.
First of all, because they expect that they're going to be spoken to as if you're a teacher.
Yeah.
So one of the things you can do first off is go and reassure them that actually you're not a teacher or lecturer, and that actually this is going to be a fun time together.
Great.
Where we're going to share views and exchange ideas, so that at least they know that it's going to be a fun time and they can start to relax.
Fantastic.
Certainly, I think not to talk too much about oneself.
Yep.
You can talk about your business story or your life story as a way of giving them a little bit of inspiration. But I think then it's to give them some ideas around how to be a little bit more successful or how to succeed in the interview, that sort of thing. But also to use them as a resource. So often putting a question to them, or what do you think about this? Or I was talking to my group about challenging comfort zones on a daily basis. So you can get them to talk amongst themselves about what would be their comfort zone. And typically for young women it might be speaking out.
Yes.
Or coming in front of the class and giving an opinion, or whatever it might be. But you can turn that into a bit of a fun exercise, so that they're having a bit of time
So
to
it's
talk
a lot
amongst
about
themselves.
fun and engaging
Interaction,
them. I think that's
engaging them.
important.
But you have to still go into mum/teacher mode occasionally to get their attention back and to quieten them all down again.
Yeah.
In order to then encourage them to speak up in terms of what the conclusions that they come to, and you can do that with a bit of humour, and it's easy to do.
Brilliant. And then you're quite active in this, and I thought actually the other piece of advice that would be really useful from you is I struggle actually to think about how I can contact an educational organisation, or what activity I can do. What sort of advice would you give on that?
Yeah. But even I've thought about that, and I was thinking, I certainly think you can get in touch with sixth forms, schools and colleges. You can get in touch with youth groups, for instance. You can find out if there are any Girl Guide groups near you. You can anywhere where there's likely to be young women, contact the leaders of those groups and offer your services.
And what would you be offering them? So, activity-wise?
Certainly you can go and talk to them about your business or your career and how you've made a success of your life, or who's inspired you. I mean, one of the things I talked about was who's inspired me in the past. You could offer to coach or mentor a couple of young women. You could go in and do the bigger presentations like I do.
And actually, I suppose you could get in contact with careers departments and do work placements.
Yes,
and
I think that would be perfect. Careers departments is great, careers advisors, and you can take the Modern Muse book along with you and give it to them as well.
Exactly, and actually it doesn't need to be about schools, it could be a friend's daughter.
It could be,
couldn't it?
absolutely.
Really?
So you can take do an equivalent of take your daughter to work.
Brilliant.
So anything, any activity, no matter how big or how small even, is putting something back, is supporting young women in some way or another.
Fabulous.
In order to meet their needs and their dreams and their ambitions.
So what would you say to someone that was thinking about being a muse?
Oh, what would I say? Go ahead and do it. Do it, do it, do it. Absolutely fantastic.